FRAG for short is a group of parent carers that come together with NCB on a number of occasions through the year to help inform their research work around children and families.
The research was looking at families that have a child with a disability and whether or not they are, have a lower income than those that don't have a child with a disability. So the research looked at families in exactly the same situation. So they might be a mum and dad, have similar jobs, similar living expenses, similar houses, all those sorts of things, but still found out that no matter what everything else is the same, families with a child with disability are considerably worse off.
The shortfall of income varied depending on the severity of the disability as well. So children who were more mildly affected by their disability were less worse off. The people who were most worse off, up to £80 worse off, were those who had a very severe and complex child.
The research is useful because it identifies those at the bottom of the social gradient are in most need when they have disabilities. But I think in order to focus research for the future, we need to open up more conversations and listen to people's stories as to how disability, mental illness or mental health affects people at different levels in society.
So the findings are based from 2004 to 2012, so that's, obviously 5 years ago. I think it'd be really, really useful to have some more up-to-date findings. I'd like to see research into what happens if you've got 2 children with disability or 3 children with disability in a family. How does that financially impact?
And something that really springs to mind is regional variations. In London, the things that might affect a family with a disabled child are completely different from at the seaside, for example. So regional variations is one. Age and stage of the parents. Someone in their 50s might well have paid off their mortgage and not have living expenses, where someone in their 30s with a disabled child might have just taken on a mortgage. So their cost of living will be higher, relatively speaking.
As a general rule, families that have a child with a disability struggle. I think it's hard. But when you add the additional financial problems, difficulties that come with that, the fact that they are worse off, they're not able to access the things that other families may well be able to, that's quite shocking, and that's really sad.
My own experience tells me that it's more expensive to raise a disabled child. There are various degrees of expense. You have to attend a lot of medical appointments, which costs travel time, travel money, parking expenses, petrol, bus fares.
The value of involving parents and carers in research that is ultimately going to influence policy is that it bridges the gap between research and reality.